So we've got other calculated field output, like let's have a look at some date stuff, right? So we had a registration date on our accounts here. So let's look at the registration date for our students, and let's just use a built-in function in this case. And we're just going to change the way that the date outputs, because otherwise it's kind of ugly. So I'm just going to, again, start with my basic select query from account, because I like IntelliSense to help me with outputting my fields. So let's do an act first name plus act last name again as full name. All right. And then I'm also going to check out the registration date. We're going to do something with this date, but first let's look at what it looks like right now, okay? This is a full date stamp. We've got year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and then I think it's down to like the nanosecond, something really, really tiny. We don't need all that information output, especially, for example, if we're outputting it to a web page in a list somewhere. Maybe we just want to know the day that they registered. Now, sometimes it matters who registered first, whatever, on a given day, but that's usually a server-side thing. Our output display for our users doesn't need the hours and stuff. There's a couple of formatting codes we can tap into. So we can use what's called a built-in function here. Now, you can see IntelliSense is already trying to help me out. I put the word format, I open a bracket, and then it's telling me that it takes a couple of parameters, and you can see the commas in here, all right? Now here it just says param1, param2, param3, so it gets a little difficult to know exactly what to put in there based entirely on this. And it tells you what it gives back. It gives you back some sort of character data, okay? Now, we can give it just two parameters. The third parameter I never use, but in the second parameter we can say ymd, and that'll say output a year, a month, and a day, I believe. Right, I have to put in y, I think. Right, okay, so I have to put in this kind of, and as you can see, even, after lots of experience with it, you can't remember everything. So you kind of have to test things out and try things and whatever. But there are a couple of short codes that are pretty universal across most Microsoft programming languages, which you'll be working with largely throughout your term here. So what you could do also is just use a shorthand. A single letter D will give you a short date, right? Or a capital D will give you something a little bit more human readable. So we have Monday, April 11th, 2016.